Hi, I'm Brad Holden with Woodworker's Journal. Today I'm going to show you how to use bendable plywood and a form to make a bent lamination. Let's start by talking about the form. I made this form for a vanity project that has curved doors. And it's really simple to make. All it is a platform base, and you've got ribs that are screwed to that base that are the radius that you want to create in the doors. There's 4 ribs here, and then I stapled one sheet of bendable plywood to those ribs, and what that does is it helps to keep the curves smooth and avoid any flat spots in the finished lamination. So let's talk a little bit about bendable plywood. Bendable plywood, unlike typical plywood, has a flexible core allowing you to easily bend it. It's sold in 4x8 sheets, just like regular plywood, although you won't typically be able to find this at a home center. You'll have to order it specially. And you can buy it to flex along the 4-foot dimension, or you can have it flex the other way. And it's really important to get that figured out before you order it, in terms of being able to have your grain oriented in the way that you want it. Now let's walk through the bending process. For these doors, I'm using 3 pieces of 1/4-inch bendable plywood. And you'll see that this plywood has a B side and an A side. For the first layer, since the side that's down is going to be the inside face of my doors, I don't want that to be the B side. So I'm going to lay the A side face down. Now as I bend this, you're going to hear a little bit of cracking of this B side face veneer, and because it's typically meant to bend the other way. But it's not going to be a problem because we're going to glue up 2 more thicknesses of plywood on top of this. You can see I've got the first piece roughly in position on the form now, and I wanted to point out a couple of quick tips. First of all, I've marked a center line on the form as well as on both edges of each lamination so that I can at least get those close to being centered on the form. Secondly, I've got the form sitting on pipe clamps, and I don't actually use them for clamping. I use them for 2 other purposes. One, when I'm positioning the bending plywood on the form, the clamps just kind of trap the ends here and keep it in position. And then secondly, they also elevate the form off of my bench so that I can slide the band clamps that I'm going to be using underneath the form. I've gone ahead and placed the second layer of plywood on the form, and just for demonstration purposes, I didn't put glue on this one. If this was the real thing, I would have used a roller and coated the whole backside of this layer of plywood with glue before doing this. And I check my center lines, make sure everything is lining up reasonably well. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but close. And then I've got my clamps, my band clamps ready to go, and we slip those around the form and snug it up tight. And I like to use as many clamps as I can fit on here, just to make sure that I'm getting even pressure all the way across the lamination. So the next time you need to make a large curved part, such as a cabinet door or a panel, consider using bendable plywood. It's a relatively easy process, and you can order it to suit your needs.